I actually came to a game 18 months ago. You know, as I said earlier, we've been on plenty of vacations over here to visit my son, and we got acquaintances, myself and Zoran, who knew each other, and I got invited to the game against Red Bull and really enjoyed the game. Charlotte were winners on the day 2-0, and it was a great atmosphere. You know, you could tell it was a community-driven club, you know, with the supporters, and I think that warmth and that feel never left me. So to answer your question, when the role came up, I was approached to see if I would be interested in the role, and I then done my due diligence and just spoke to my family, as I always do, and we felt that this could be a really good opportunity.
Who's a badass? She's a badass. Who's a badass? She's a badass.
Hey Dino, what's up, man? Welcome to Charlotte, dude. Man, we love you. Can't wait to see what you do on the pitch. Hopefully it won't be what Villa did to my Spurs, but you know, that's a whole nother story. But welcome to Charlotte. Man, we get some tea, maybe some crumpets, man, do an old English breakfast or something, man. Just hit us up. Love an interview.
Blood sausage.
Charlotte FC 3, Toronto FC 2. For the fans, by the fans, damn it! Vamos!
Oh, get off Capetti's nutsack! I told you, get off his nuts! Capetti is a baller, then say, just saying.
That big apple was a golden delicious, baby. Let's go!
Atlanta, we go over there, we killing you.
Wants to marry me, you can.
Hey, big dubs, big dubs. Hey,
What'd you think of the game?
what did I think of the game?
Yeah, tell
I
us.
thought you were amazing. Hey, he doesn't get enough credit.
I do not get enough credit.
He's fucking amazing.
I am amazing. Yeah.
TJ, I'm gonna have to hire you for photography.
And ain't no TJ, it's JT.
You changed the name, man.
It's fun. It's boot room, aka where all the cleats are. You smell the airflow in here is really good. It smells really good. If they want to stretch their stuff out, get their workout on, bam.
We love Christian, Kalina.
I don't know. What can March do better?
Kalina is absolutely top notch. We're
Top
so
notch.
proud of him. We love him in Charlotte. Yeah, he did a great job.
Like when you go on Kalina's website, you give them like a 5-star Yelp review.
Absolutely, 100% every time.
Damn, I ain't got no interview or nothing. Anyway, over here at Queen City.
CLTFC fans, by the fans, damn it.
Hey, George. I got it. Is it CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans?
Damn it.
CLTFC Fan TV, all my inflections. Got my cards, Alan. Got my cards. Thank you for these. It's like we got a lot of cards. I think that's number 8 on my list. Welcome to CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans, damn it. I am JT. That is Lee. And friend of the family, OG, just like us, down from 2020 and shit. Our boy, Jorge, top man 90, Gonzales, in the house. And hey, great timing, right? Because there seems to be some sort of hot news or something. I don't know. Anyway, y'all tell me what's up, because I'm not in it like y'all are. So what's up?
Charlotte had another clean sheet.
Yes.
No goals against Kalina.
Yeah, only if we had somebody that could score.
Well, we potentially can.
Yeah, I mean, of course we can. I mean, we got Patrick.
We got Patrick. We got Westwood.
Yeah, we got Westwood. Yes. So lots of stuff going on. I don't know, man. Boy, I think you probably know more about it than I do, but from my understanding is in Karol Swiderski's contract, it was put out or led to believe that there was an option to buy should the team stay up, and they did. And then we saw some tweets today and some posts today saying that there wasn't an option or obligation to buy, but they would like to loan him back again, possibly because they think the $6 million valuation of him is a little too high. However, I'll let you finish up the statement.
Yeah, so I guess the sporting director of Hellas Verona, Sean Sagliano, I think that's how you say his last name, came out. He was asked about a couple different players that were on loan options at Hellas, right? Swiderski being one of them. And they mentioned their top priority right now was re-signing a German midfielder that they have until the 31st of this month to exercise that option. And what they mentioned, that Karol Swiderski is a player that he likes, but that $6 million valuation is just not what they want to pay or what they will pay at this moment. They're interested in the player, it sounds like, and maybe closer to the end of the MLS window, they could tempt Charlotte with another loan move, which to me, the information we got when Karol Swiderski made his move from Charlotte to Hellas Verona, like you mentioned, is that they had to exercise that option to buy should they stay in Serie A.
Yep.
They're staying in Serie A, but from the Verona side of things, it does not sound like anything was triggered for them to buy Karol Swiderski. We got that information. Tom Boger got that information. A lot of, I guess, respected outlets had this information, right? Anytime we put information out, and Wesley, for a while now, we verify, we try our best to make sure that what we're putting out on the internet is true. And 9 times out of 10, it is,
Yeah.
In this situation, we're not the only ones that were led to believe that they've had to trigger that buy purchase, right? So now it's in a limbo what will happen with Karol Swiderski. From my understanding of the situation, from sources that I've spoken to, Karol Swiderski, I don't think he's keen on staying at Hellas Verona, right?
Yeah,
I think he's open. I think he's open to staying at Charlotte, but I don't see the front office wanting to keep Karol Swiderski. So in my opinion, after the Euros are done, even as of now, they'll try to work something out where they can let Swiderski go to another club, right? Obviously, it would be smart on them to try to move him on a permanent move if that's truly what they want. But if Hellas Verona isn't meeting that $6 million valuation, right, what club right now will meet that? That's the big question. That's where what market is going to take a risk on Karol Swiderski.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions to be asked here. I mean, either what the front office of Charlotte was telling us was incorrect, right? And they were just telling us, hey, he's gone. Don't worry about it. And let's just focus on these new DPs. Or, Verona's lying, right? And they're basically breaching the contract. So if that's the case, I mean, I'm sure that would go to some sort of like mediator and that sort of thing to handle it, right, within the soccer world. But then that comes down to the question, right? So essentially, we have no more DP slots as it stands, right? Because we have Carroll back. He's going to be a DP player. We've got Abada, and then we got Breck that's on a DP contract. So essentially, we've got no DP slots. And when we were talking about earlier, hey, we've got 2 available, right? Let's we need a 9 and a 10. So
I thought you said the Brecht one though was like they were about to counter him down, or
they can buy him down, but I'm just saying as it stands on paper now. And then the question becomes, why I'm thinking this right now is like, all right, if they knew that Carroll was going to come back regardless, right? They had to get rid of somebody, and Capetti was the one that got taken out. So that way we could still be roster compliant with our DPs.
Those are a couple of assumptions. I mean, I think it's possible what you're saying, but we're also playing the assumption game. Here's where we're at. This is what I see, right? At the beginning of the season, right, the front office, Dean Smith, Charlotte SC, had 2 9s on their books. They had Enzo Capetti and they had Karol Swiderski, who before had mentioned that he wanted to get a move to a top 5 European league, right?
Yep.
Obviously Camille was out of the question regardless of everybody. Here's what I think happened. They bet on the wrong horse with Enzo Capetti, right? They said, hey, this guy will be our 9. If you remember one of the first interviews by Dean Smith, he said Enzo Capetti is going to be our guy no matter what this season, right? Fast forward to today, right? You saw what happened with Enzo. It didn't end up working out. They got a great opportunity to sell him. They did that, right? And I think it was more on they bet on the wrong horse. I think from Swiderski and his agent's side, they made a mistake moving to a club like Hellas Verona, who's in a relegation battle. And those types of gritty, fought-out games, they're not the style of Karol Swiderski. So, in my opinion, they made a mistake going to that club. Charlotte made a mistake in betting on Enzo Capetti versus Karol Swiderski, right? And you also have to take into context on when a lot of these comments came out from Carroll wanting to go. It came during the Latanzio area, during a time where he wasn't playing the 9. He was playing sometimes the 9, sometimes the right wing, sometimes the 8, sometimes the playmaker. So I understand why he wanted to move out of that. We've heard from Meram. You saw him on our interview, right, where he talked about the style and the coaching of Latanzio. In my opinion, in that January window, he knew he wasn't going to be the 9, so he said, it's better for me to leave than to try to play here and be a right winger or whatever they want to play me at this club.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to read some of these comments, right, as they come through. I mean, yeah, all valid points again. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens, right? I mean, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Would you take him back? I mean, as it stands, I mean, I was never against the guy. Sometimes he did go missing in the games, but to your point, when Latanzio was playing out of position, that sort of doesn't help either, right?
And I think also go ahead.
I'm saying it'd be such a soccer thing, if you leaving and then coming back, and he went to the second level of wherever in Spain, and even just trying to understand what you were saying about the deal falling apart. And I understand they don't want to pick up the money and the options. It's just so nutty, the back end of it. And I'm fine with it because I know there's a lot of merch out there that says Swiderski, and he didn't leave. And let's not forget, he was the only player that the club ever really put on the full court press. He was our first DP, and that night was great. They had the supporters there. I mean, that was a crazy night. I think he's like our first love, and he went off and whatever. And if he comes back, I think it's fine. It's like no fault, no foul, especially if he can help us score.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're definitely lacking goals. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, again, yes, having Carroll back feels an immediate need for sure. And Assumptions FC, yes, that is true there, Teddy. Is it possible we sold Enzo after? Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was asking, right? I mean, it didn't really.
I mean, you make a good case for it. You know, I won't deny that. You make a good case for that. Go back to the having Carroll backfill an immediate need.
That one right
This
there.
is a great point that Kyle makes. Like, think about this, right? If we look at the 4 pure DPs that we've bought in Kamil Yazviak, didn't work out. Enzo Copetti didn't work out. Karol Swiderski, we could say he worked out based off the numbers, right? He did enough to be considered DP. Abada, to be determined. Brecht, quote unquote, the DP right now, has not been working out, right? So we go into a window where we need a 9 and a 10 at Charlotte FC with no true track record of actually making hits on our DP signings. And we have a guy that can fill both of those roles in Karol Swiderski. In my opinion, and again, I'm just making assumptions here, right? Assumptions FC, right? Charlotte and Carol need to come to some sort of agreement or some sort of conclusion where they say, hey, Carol, we're willing to sell you this summer if we meet this X evaluation. If we can't meet this X evaluation of what we believe you are worth and what we can make off of you, we're going to have you stay for this second part of the season. Obviously, we need a 9 and we need a 10. You can play both of those roles. You have a track record of doing well here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he's coming to a new team, right?
Well,
and so to me, it becomes a thing of, hey, let's make this agreement, right? If we can sell you, awesome. If not, let's work with you till the end of the season.
Yeah, I true, right? But then it's also the fact if he ends up playing for Poland in the Euros, right? I mean, he could shine a little bit there and put himself in the shop window and possibly get picked up as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of options. I mean, I think what I'm more confused about is, okay, again, right? We were led to believe that, you know, he's gone basically, right? He's basically in Syria and that's it. And especially since they stayed up, which then clears that DP slot, right? And here we were yesterday thinking we were going to have 2 DP slots come this summer transfer window. And now here we are with none. So we essentially just lost all that DP. So,
but you still could. You still could. My only argument is,
right?
Like, there is no true. Now, when the club was first announced, we were just like, okay, we're trusting that the DPs that they sign will make the difference. We're 3 years now, and we have a track record of what Charlotte has done. And we can look case by case on our DPs and say, this one hit, this one didn't hit, this one hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, Zorn, this is kind of where I was led to believe, right? I mean, and obviously talking with folks like you, Jorge, and then the front office, right? I mean, it sounded like to me that he was on loan with an option to buy. That's the way I understood it. And if they stayed up, then essentially he was one of their players, which they did. So I don't know.
We got information that it was they had to buy. Tom also posted about it. Other outlets posted about it. I mean, Carol recently made an article about Swiderski staying. Everybody that, you know, gets information that, you know, make sure that they put something out, right? We thoroughly source the information that we get before we put it out there, right? That's how you become a trusted outlet. When situations like this happen, you know, where everybody gets a similar information and it happens to not be true based on what's going on right now, then things become a little iffy. Okay, well, what is really going on? It builds more distrust than it actually builds a foundation.
100%. So you interviewed Carol, right? And I believe that was set up on your subscribers part, right? For the folks that want to go watch it, just subscribe to topbin90.com, right? So like Stanley says here, right? Ultimately comes down if Carol wants to come back. Did you get the impression that he would want to come back and play for Charlotte or no?
Yeah, I did. I think from his perspective, what it seemed to me, just based off the, you know, interview that I did, I don't feel like he's truly comfortable at Verona, right? He never was, right? And it's more of like, man, I had a good thing at Charlotte. You know, that's where I'm coming from. Like, okay, they made a mistake going to a team like Verona, but I also get it from their side where, well, you're not going to play me at the 9 and you're going to bet on Enzo versus me, then why do I need to be here?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, as a player, you want to play, right? I mean, that's your ultimate goal. So
I think you want to play, but you also don't want to play in a position that you're not naturally going to play at. Like if you're saying, well, we're going to bet on Enzo and not me, then why do I need to be here if I'm a DP as well?
Fair enough. I mean, all valid points. I'm just trying to, and then you think of folks like Bronico that's played in every position but the goal, it seems like. But, but yeah, so, I mean, I don't know, right? I guess it's time will tell how this plays out, right? Does Carroll come back? We don't know. Does he get selected by Poland to go to the Euros? We don't know, right? So, I mean, there's still a lot of what ifs, in my opinion. So, it'd be nice, Charlotte FC. I know y'all watch our shows, man. Y'all are our number one fans. We see how many times y'all click on this stuff. So, just kidding. But, go ahead and let us know, man. Put the fans' mind at ease. Have a statement of some sort. I don't know. Tell us that Verona's lying and he's gone, and we don't know what the hell we're talking about. So Zoran, come to the forefront, man, and speak to us fans. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. Honestly, though, here's the thing: if Karol Swiderski doesn't end up signing for Verona, it's a bad look from Charlotte's perspective. In my blunt and honest opinion, right? Obviously, we don't. Maybe they can figure something out where they sell them for cheap to Verona and they call it a day, right? But as of now, it's looking like that's not going to happen. And if that doesn't happen, it's a very bad look from Charlotte FC side where, one thing is being reported, multiple outlets sources, it doesn't happen. That builds distrust not only with people around, that cover the team, but also with future prospected players that want to come here.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. I agree, right? I mean, so, hey, Charlotte FC, man, do the right thing. Let us know, man. What's up? Go ahead and give us a copy of that contract. Just scratch out any private information that we don't need to know for HIPAA. But yeah, I guess, players do leave and come back to clubs, right? I mean, that's a given.
That's why I'm like, this is new to me.
The way it's kind of unfolded, it's like, all I know is Charlotte FC keeps giving us content, and we appreciate it, Charlotte. So
that's one thing about this club. We're always going to have something to talk about.
Yeah. And it's every time we have you on the show, Jorge. So what you're doing next Tuesday.
I'll be at TST.
That's right. That's it. So yeah. But let's talk about the game this past weekend, man. Another 0-0, a clean sheet. It is what it is, right? I think Philly were the happier team to leave without losing. Again, I think we had limited shots on goal. Again, it's up top. We just don't seem to be clinical and not able to put it away. I mean, what do we do here?
Well, I've mentioned this on our pod as well, right? I mean, one of the immediate needs that we needed to see Dean Smith fix here was leaking so much goals back. Remember last year, we led the league, I think, in goals conceded after like minute 75 or something like that, and like 20 plus points dropped from leading positions. So he's done that. He's plugged in that gap where he's made a very strong back line, right? Kalina looks a player, right? Like a goalkeeper that, like last year, there were moments where I wasn't sure. This season, he stepped up, went to another level. If I'm Charlotte, I'm renegotiating for him to stay, right? That's my opinion, right? So from a backline perspective, we're doing great. No goals conceded in May, right? A lot of games came in quick and fast. We're picking up points. We got our first away in Chicago, which was great. But like you said, now it comes to that final third, right? I mean, we still have not seen – this is why I talked to you about Patrick. I like Patrick. He's a good striker. He's going to be a great MLS striker. But – he still isn't a guy that we can depend on game in, game out. He's still young. These are players that you have to incorporate and let them get better as the season. Like he can't just be the target man.
I have a clip from the latest presser with Dino kind of talking about this. Check it.
They defended certainly the second 6-yard box really well. We put a number of balls into that area and we had people arriving, but they defended it really well. Nico had the one big chance where he went through 1v1 against the goalkeeper. And sometimes our final ball was lacking. I think 3 minutes on the clock, and Didi's played a great ball out to Kerwin, and Kerwin went 1v1 and unfortunately put the ball over the crossbar. And that's the sort of thing that we need to cut out a little bit, and that's where we've got to produce better moments.
Yeah, so again, with I call him Air Vargas. Not hating on it, but it is crazy how often he just does his move. And I'm like, listen, in practice, just let him do his dance move, his crossover stuff, coming into the box from the side, and then just practice on that shot, because every time he shoots it, it's up, up, up. So like, hey, just keep on doing your dance and then shoot it lower, lower, lower. So I don't know. But yeah, the not scoring is getting a little boring.
Yeah. I mean, we did what we said we wanted them to do in May, right? And I think we did all right there. But now it is time to start picking up the pace. I mean, we play Red Bulls, tomorrow night? And those guys typically have our number. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, they're the ones that just spanked us in that play-in, right? So is this the first time we've had to play them since then? I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Have we played them this season?
No, we haven't. I mean, they've been flying. They've also made a coaching change, right?
Yeah.
They also signed a quality player in Emil Forsberg. They're undefeated at home, right? Yeah. They're ahead of us in the league. Last time we went up there, we got clapped 5-2, right? Yes. It was also Dean's first ever game watching Charlotte was a game against Red Bull, right? So there's a lot of interesting things. Ben Bender, who's back, has 3 goals against New York Red Bulls.
He's not starting.
Right? So I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
before we get into Red Bull, let's finish on the Philly topic, right? Where I mean, we had one of the things that I wanted to see improvement on, which there was moment of the season that we saw that was set pieces. I mean, we had 11 corners and we didn't look threatening at all. Thank you.
Yeah, Kyle nails it, right? I mean,
yeah. Yo, Kyle, you're on it tonight, bro.
Yeah, he's been on it all day. Just on Twitter and everything. Appreciate you, Kyle. But yeah, you're right.
But I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the positive, we're seeing a Bada back who he had that shot right near the end, right? That, could have been a goal, right? So I mean, we need that lively creativity in that final third. I still think, Vargas goes missing some games, it's like he's right there to make that next move, but he just doesn't do it just yet.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, I can't argue any of these points tonight, right? I mean,
and Pat, I love Pat, and he's going to be a good MLS striker, week in, week out, 90, 70, 90. You could tell, he's getting tired.
Yeah, but how old is he? He's like 23, 24, right?
For sure. But then at the same time, this is one of the things I like about Dean Smith. You ask him a question, most of the time he'll give you a straight up answer. I said, hey, Dean, what are we missing more of? Chance creation or finishing? He said both. And he's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you got the chances and you can't finish, right? I mean, they kind of come hand in hand.
For sure. And I mean, goes back to what we've been complaining about the whole season. We need another 9 and we need a quality DP10. Obviously, if we had to choose, I'm taking a quality DP10 as the immediate need.
Yeah. I just don't know. Sometimes I get frustrated with Patrick and his first touch. It seems to put him out of position, or he just sort of loses that advantage he might have. Go ahead.
He's got that move.
I actually think technically he's improved a lot.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's the one thing I would call out if I was to criticize the guy at all. But yeah, hopefully he can bang in a few tomorrow night, and
Yeah, I mean for players like him and Ben who have shown that they have quality, I have no problem with assimilating them into the team, getting them some starts, then having them come off the bench. The problem is he's the only natural striker we have right now, so all the pressure goes on to him. That was a similar situation that we were running with Ben last year, where all the pressure, okay, you need to start this guy, and then he starts 3 games in a row, and he kind of goes missing. I'm like, because they're not ready to be full-time 90-minute, 34-match MLS players,
Yeah.
Hey, I got something. I got Dean talking about this. Hold on a second. Let's see.
In terms of Abada and Bender, was your reticence to use them more about their individual injuries, match congestion? The game was kind of chippy too. I mean, there were a lot of factors involved.
No, I mean, Ben Bender's not played a match for 7 months, so it's got to be right for him and for me to get him on the pitch. He's played some minutes in terms of some bounce games that we've had here, and he's played the legacy game as well, but it's not the same intensity. So I've got to be, fully behind it before I put him on the pitch and make sure that, it's a game where he can actually come in and do what it says on the tin. Liao was more, I knew I was only probably going to give him 15 or 20 minutes, following the injury. But Liel came through that okay, and he's trained well, so he's available certainly to be selected from the start now.
Yeah, so when Abada did come on, I mean, the team seemed to be a little more lively. I'll give him that against Philly.
Yeah, and to be fair, Scott came in and was a positive too.
Yeah. No, it was fun, and it was a good night overall. I just, again, I think we're all sort of getting frustrated. Yeah, we're keeping the Kalina sheets, but we just need to nick a goal. I don't care where it comes from.
2 games in a row. I mean, again, me representing more of a average fan, but just 2 games in a row of 0-0. I mean, one thing if it was, I love the clean sheets, the Kalina sheets, but man, 0-0. That's what like the people who always want to hate on soccer, like, what? Not even one score?
Typical.
And, whatever, but it's still the second game in a row is like 0-0. Come on.
Yeah. And to be fair,
I know the stadium's happier because they've been playing that public announcement about not throwing your cups, that a cup is a projectile, but you can throw your liquid. It's so funny hearing like this.
Yeah, well, we can't throw it because we can't score.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's worked out real well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a valid point.
Yeah, and plus, like, the style of play doesn't really help it, Like, we're kind of playing some very pragmatic ball, right? But, I understand this is what Dean has to work with, and he's making the best of what he has. That's one thing I like about Dean. It's next man up with him. All right, we don't have any DPs right now. We'll figure it out. It'll be hard to get scored on, and he's done that, right? Now it's up to the front office to give him better suited players in that final third, make a big difference.
Come on, Zorn. Figure it out, man.
I got another clip from Dean kind of on this. Here we go.
I'm always defense solid, and they're no different to us if there's only one goal in it or they're drawing 3-3 or 4-4. But I know from experience that you can build an awful lot of confidence from keeping clean sheets and not giving opposition chances. And you can go on a run like we're doing at the moment, but we need to maintain our standards to do that. Am I concerned that we're not scoring enough goals? Yeah, and that's something that we need to address, and we are addressing and working on. But the standards of our defending have been excellent, and it's something that, shouldn't be overlooked.
Damn right, Privet. I'm glad I gave that.
Yeah, Privet. He's my favorite now too, Lee.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, but he also made a mistake that could have cost us.
Yeah, but everyone's going to make mistakes.
Shut up, Jorge. Whatever.
For you, Jorge, of course, you don't ever make mistakes.
Even the goats make mistakes, right, Jorge? Sometimes they have to apologize for it. I don't know.
That's true, bro. That's very true.
Yeah, so, see, that is a curse, actually. No goal since that comment was that announcement started.
Now, let's be clear. They say that the liquids are not projectiles. They say, because that's the funniest thing. They're like, if you want to celebrate by throwing your liquid in the air, just do, whatever. It's the most PA, whatever. It's interesting, but nonetheless, liquids are fine. Just don't throw the cup with it, is what they're saying.
Yeah,
I thought the whole reason they had cups in the first place, so you weren't throwing the cans.
Do you think we got some clout with Dino being at the wheel when it comes to transfers? Like, forget the names that we've been linked with, but do you think there's any clout that Dino can have that might push that deal over the line?
I think so. I think, he's built a really good reputation, right? As a coach, as a trusted coach, right?
And the last two,
My
I would
my
say.
question is more on like what kind of adjusting Crown's question a little bit more is how influential will he be in the decisions of the players that are actually brought? The scouting department and Zoran says, here are the players that we're scouting, right? And Dean says, okay, I want this player and I don't. And I asked him this question. I was like, maybe from a percentage wise, I kind of want to know where he's at, how influential he'll be in those decisions. And he gave a great response where he said, like when he was at Brentford, he said that the owner said it does me no good to bring you a player that you're not gonna play, right?
Yeah, obviously,
So
right?
yeah, so from that perspective, it sounds like he's gonna have more of a say in this transfer when rightfully so, right? Right now he can opt out with saying, you know what, Camille wasn't my DP, Carol wasn't my DP, Enzo wasn't my DP. This is what I worked with. To be fair, he's absolutely 100% correct with that. But moving forward, right now he's going to make those decisions, and hopefully, he can have more of a perspective of, hey, I've been here, done that. I think this player would be great, or this player wouldn't be great, because Mar got a lot of say in what kind of players he was brought in. Lattanzio had big say in bringing Enzo Copetti, right? So if these two managers with limited experience had a chance to talk to pick some of the players that they come, Dean Smith for sure has to have that backing, right? Plus, there's more of a long-term goal here, and we're seeing already the fruits of an experienced manager where we're punching above our weight right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I had the same thought, Crown. So you're saying Grealish is coming to Charlotte. That's kind of what I heard. So
yeah, I heard he's coming for a game and then leaving.
Yeah, he's coming over just for a vacation to stay at Dino's house. But yeah, I mean, you would, like you said, I personally think if you're a manager, you've got to be at that table discussing players, right? I mean, you have to be the one saying like, I need these players. This is the type of player I want. And then the recruiters come up with a name and you say like, yay and nay, right? Give it the final kiss off, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, I guess we'll see. When does the window open up? Is it June or it's
when is that happening?
30th or something, I think, right? Am I wrong with that day?
No. Gotta look it up right now. It's like June.
Coutinho makes some sense. I would rather take what's his name, Firmino or whatever. But yeah, I mean, but he played at Aston Villa, so maybe there is some context around that. July 18th. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't remember. July 13th. It's
July 18th.
Yeah.
When is the League's Cup games? So just lay out the summer for me a little bit. So
it gets hot in June, July, and August, so the humidity gets high.
It's already hot. It's already humid. So
that was pretty nice.
Yeah, it leaves July.
Today was nice.
Yeah, but no, I mean, so what? We play Red Bulls tomorrow. We play Atlanta Sunday, and then we're not home until the 15th when we play DC, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
This is where. Although I'm glad we got a point, we're also missing out opportunities, right? The good thing is we have a semi of a cushion right now with the points that we've been able to cut, but that can wear out quick and fast, right? We're going into Red Bulls tomorrow, like you mentioned, and like I mentioned, where it's a team that hasn't lost at home just yet, right? They have a good record and they're on the up. It's a stock up kind of team, right? I think Atlanta is a game that Charlotte could win. They've been atrocious this season.
I mean, Atlanta's lost 4 in a row or something at home too.
Yeah, they barely got through Charleston Battery in the Cup, right? Their last win was against Charlotte Independence in the Open Cup. Prior to that, I mean, they've just been on the downfall for the quality squad that they have. I mean, they play Miami tomorrow. They just lost to LAFC. If they lose tomorrow and we go out there and speak them, I think Pineda is done. Right. But I mean, these are kind of those opportunities where we can maximize. But at the same time, right, like if we're not creating enough chances to score, then what are we expecting? Another 0-0? I mean, the win that we got came from a terrible game that it took a set from Westwood to win.
Yeah. No, I mean, like Kyle says, crucial game, man. It's a 6-pointer, right?
Yeah.
Versus Rebel
And
and Leonard.
these are the moments where, I kind of want to start seeing what Abada can do. The way that Ashley Westwood picked up 3 points for us when we didn't play well. Abada has opportunities coming up. He needs to start.
I was gonna say,
He's got minutes. He's good to go. He needs to start and making a difference.
Hey, I got one last clip of Dino talking about the Red Bulls. Let me pull this.
I have no idea about the history between the two teams. I know the Red Bull model because I've obviously played against many teams before. They have a certain style, the way they want to play. I'm confused, and nobody's really explained to me yet why they're New York, but they're playing New Jersey. But maybe somebody can tell me that. But it's going to be a tough game because they're a good team.
That's what we all say, Dino. That's what we all say.
Hey, but I love that he was being completely honest about that. He was actually, because right after that, I don't know if you were in the room, Jorge, but some other journalists explained them, well, New Jersey is the suburbs of New York City and like the old Meadowlands or whatever, and that's the reason they play out there because the only place they can put a stadium. But yeah, he really was confused on why they're called the New York Red Bulls when they play in New Jersey.
Yeah, but Croutons, you joke about this, but it could go the complete opposite way. The guy could be feeling light and healthy and like excited about life, right? So I mean, he could show up and cook himself instead of being cooked. Just saying.
Yeah, it was a similar situation though with Honey Mukhtar at Nashville. Kind of unstable, right, in Germany. Came to Nashville. Took some time to get on his feet. Found kind of tranquility and peace here. Got engaged and cooking. Could be something similar that happens with Abada here at Charlotte. Where he's settled. He knows he's going to play in the MLS a couple years. He's now engaged. He can fully focus on soccer and his wife, right? And so hopefully, we're hoping for the best because we've missed more than hit on DP so far.
Yeah, we have definitely.
Just as long as his fiance is okay with planning the wedding by herself, and Abada doesn't have to deal with much wedding planning, he's fine. But
I'm sure he's got people for that.
He wants to have a lot of input, we might be in trouble.
Well, and
he doesn't like me as a guy that really wants to plan a wedding, but I could be wrong.
I mean, which guy really does? Just
exactly.
throwing it out. But anyways, no, I had a friend of mine that's a good friend of the show, Jerry, right, or Road Monkey, right? He does helps us out with some of our graphics and that stuff. He was actually at the Celtic Stadium over the weekend, and they still have a big banner of Abada up there. So it was kind of interesting.
Nice.
Send that to me. So yeah, he's just like, look, they still got him up here. So
tell him to send me some pictures of Luis Palma. He's a Honduran player that plays for them.
You can send him a DM.
Perfect. I'll do that then.
Yeah. So, all right. So tomorrow we play Red Bulls, right? A Wednesday night game that's probably going to kick off at like 7:51, right? So, with that being said, how
have you been on Wednesday night games? Does anyone know? Like over
we've only had one this year. We've
only had one. We won the last one that we played on a Wednesday. So that's positive.
Chicago. So all right, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Red Bulls seem to have our number. So if we can come away with a win there, and I'm hoping that the man has the odds against us, so we can.
I know you don't want to hear this, but I'll take another 0-0 at Red Bulls.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I would take that. I'd take it over a loss, obviously, but it's still like, damn. But yeah, I would definitely take that against Red Bulls at Red Bulls in the middle of the week.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's go ahead and drop score predictions, man. So, Jorge, you're saying 0-0?
0-0 goose eggs for this game. I'm good with that. Actually, no, I'll change it. It'll be a 1-1. Abada goal. Bada bing.
Yeah, see? This is what I was going to say. 1-1 us. So, it seems to work. So, JT, what do you think, man?
I'm going to say 2-1 us. I don't know. Who gets the goals? I don't. Actually, no.
Who gets the
I
red?
started calling him Air Vargas. I think somehow it's gotten back to him, and Vargas is like, mother, and he's going to get it lower. He gets his shot off, but they just always. So Vargas and Abada.
Vargas.
And more clean sheets because the boys have had enough bottles of wine.
Yeah, last 3 been a playoff loss and 2 draws. Yeah, 0-0 again. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get some excitement on our side, right? Not disappointment. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm a 1-1 us. I think that's gonna.
Now that's the Wednesday night game, but all the talk is about Atlanta on Sunday, at least far as I think Sean earlier was calling the 85 Derby or whatever, which is kind of fun. They are, besides them in Nashville, Atlanta is definitely just normally between Charlotte and Atlanta. So they are our rivals. And it seems like there's a ton of people going down there. So
the buses are going down there. We leave out, I believe, at like 7 a.m. Sunday morning and come back, I guess, somewhere around midnight.
Are you going, Lee?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's some of the best kind. I love how we represent, man. And also just the contrast of our beautiful blue and that sea of red.
Well, so it's funny you say that because the club has asked everybody that's going down to Atlanta to wear the blue kit, so we can stand out, right? In that, just show them how Charlotte represents.
Yeah, honestly, it's awesome of the club to kind of make it easier for the fan base to get down there. Last year it was spectacular, bro. 1,000 fans out there. We were cooking Atlanta. It's probably one of the most memorable games of last season that we had, that win away, right? Seeing that whole blue up in Mercedes-Benz, singing, that it sounded like a library. I mean, the fans played a big role by showing up, but I also think the club played a big role facilitating that.
Yeah, and Ally Bank too, right? I mean, they're the ones I think that footed the bill. So, shout out to them. And I think I don't know all the specifics to it, but the buses have been chartered again, and we've had to buy tickets unless this was your away game. Last year they did give us those tickets for free, but this year you have to purchase them unless you're using it as that up and away thing that they're doing. So yeah, I mean, I'll be there. I know a lot of other folks are going there. So if you're going, man, make sure you wear your blue kit and let's just stand out, like JT said, in that red stadium. And
I'll try to find that clip again from the first ever match there. But that was our first. That wasn't our first away goal. It was our second away goal.
It was our first. It was our first goal, right? It was when Adam Armour scored.
Yeah. That's it.
That was our first ever goal.
One clip through the press box, and there you are, shushing the fans. Yeah. And the security guards trying to hold you back a little bit.
Yeah, because we were sitting next to.
Well, I wanted to make one point because I went on to Facebook. I know it's scary out there, but I did want to just see if there's any ideas for whatever we're talking about tonight. And somebody was complaining about how they didn't know about the charter buses and all that kind of stuff. And then someone came back on them and said, well, you're not in a supporters group. It's like, well, why do I need to be in a supporter group to know about the charter buses? And he's like, well, we're paying, it's like, so again, if you are not a member of a supporters group, I don't know how that works to find out more about stuff, but there's lots of groups out there. You can actually start your own if you wanted to. Just get some big, but nonetheless, and I'm not talking about getting on the council and stuff. Supporters groups are great, and I love what the team is doing, working with them, and thanks for Ally Bank doing that and everything. But I just hope anyone that wants to get down there, however they want to get down there, it's only 4 hours away. Just roll. I'm sure there's plenty of people rolling up, man.
So to that point, I do want to say this, right? I mean, I know like some people are totally against supporters group and we should only have like the royal family and that should be it. But however, the club can't answer everybody's individual questions about the away games and this. So it's kind of good if you're in Slack, if you're in Discord or whatever the supporters group uses to have their groups come together, right? It can funnel down that way to you. I know some of the groups, right, even have it to where you don't have to pay for a membership. You can just sign up and have a free sort of access to all that stuff. So you don't have to join per se, right? I mean, you can still sign up and get access to some of the back end stuff where you guys can definitely, learn what's going on and hear about, hey, you want to be on the bus, you want a ticket to Atlanta, right, and that sort of thing. So
that's what I'm talking about. For the fans, by the fans. Damn it! And now's the perfect time for our fan of the match, a clip of tomorrow morning, because Memorial Day, old JT had to hang out. We're working on videos, man, and so the fan reactions will come out tomorrow. But here's the
day in JT's house.
Yeah, that's it. Here's fan of the match, and it just is a good point, and we appreciate everyone being so knowledgeable.
What do you think of the game?
Man, the first half and the second half was very back and forth. I mean, possession was damn near even. I mean,
0-0 though. I feel like Philly left the game thinking that like they actually, that they should be the happier team.
Yeah, Philly definitely left this game smiling because of what they were able to do. But honestly, I wouldn't say Philly left the better team. I felt like
they're not the better team.
They left the luckiest team, maybe.
Charlotte, the luckiest team. Charlotte, I'm not hating on Pat. I just think we need like a 9 and 10 this summer.
We need a 9 and a 10. If Marco would have came, that would have been a sweet fit instantly.
We'll just keep moving, right?
Yeah, we keep moving. And, I mean, whatever free agents are out there, all I could tell if you watch this interview.
Charlotte, man, Charlotte.
You come here to Charlotte, you're going to get nothing but love. You're going to get nothing but energy. You're going to get nothing but the best home atmosphere any grown-ass man can ask for in the MLS Premier League. Baby, we're going to bring it every day.
That's what's up. So if you had to pick a man in the match tonight, who are you picking?
It had to be Kalina. Kalina's been the man in the match.
Kalina come up clutch. I wouldn't say 5 weeks, but he's been coming up clutch.
Yes.
So I'm eating crow on Kalina. Kalina, if you're watching this one, I just want you to know, man, apologies. You've been coming up clutch, and some of those clean sheets have been down to Kalina sheets.
Yeah.
Kalina sheets, man.
Kalina sheets. We need to get that, man.
Kenny's a good guy.
We can't even get our own merch made. How are we going to make Kalina sheets, man?
We just, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No, we'll figure it out.
It's too much work, man, to make T-shirts.
No.
Anyways, but yeah, so, Atlanta away, man. Do you think we win there, JT?
Yes, I think we're gonna bring our energy down there, and that, like Jorge said, or someone just said, they lost 4 in a row. They don't want to see us, man. They don't want to see that blue. They don't want to hear the chants. They don't want, all the shots I have in the opening with the escalator, everyone coming down chanting, and like the older gentleman, Atlanta. We kill you. I mean, come on, man. He said it right there. If old man gonna know it, everyone else is gonna know it.
Yeah. Jorge, what do you think, man? Like, we seem to be that team, and I'm used to it just being a Spurs fan, but we seem to be that team that comes in, right? And, when a team's having a shit run, man, we seem to help them out.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to Atlanta, bro, it's very even in terms of what happens. Like the first ever match that we scored a goal was against Atlanta, and we lost 2-1, right? Then we came home and won 1-0, so the margin was a goal. Yeah. Then this next season, we get cooked by them in Charlotte, and then we go to Atlanta and cook them.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm thinking this year is going to be a draw here and a draw away, right? But I think there's a very good possibility, with where we're at and where Atlanta is at for us another win. Obviously, I think it's going to depend on what we're able to do in the final third, as we've been discussing this whole episode.
Yeah, so do you have a score prediction you want to throw out?
Yes, sir. 2-1 Charlotte FC. I'm going to go for a win in Atlanta. ATL.
Yeah, the big L. Yeah. JT, what are you saying, man?
I'm full on with Jorge, man. I think we're all getting it together. So I'm saying 2-1 Charlotte. Take the L.
I'm going to go one better than y'all, man. I'm going to say 1-1 us. Nope. I can't.
Didn't see that one coming.
I think against Atlanta, we win 2-0.
Oh! Wow.
So that's either going to help us or it's going to break us, and then the internet be pissed because I didn't stick with 1-1 us all season. So I think we beat them 2-0.
Well, there's one way to find out. So, yeah.
You know better than that. Yeah. But, so, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. JT, man, you had a lot to talk about beforehand. What else do you want to touch on?
Well, I brought bottles.
You want me to
of wine.
answer?
I was
What's
just
that?
wondering, like, is he giving them bottles of wine like after every clean
Yeah,
sheet?
that's what he said, and he.
I don't know, is it just to deliver to their house? I mean, are they like $50 bottles of wine? I don't know. I want to know more about it. I mean,
But
Jorge,
the one a man apparently is what he signed up for.
All I can say is this weekend, after the match was over, I saw Nathan Byrne heading out with 2 bottles. So they got compensated for their wines this weekend.
nice. That's what I'm
know.
talking about.
Yeah. Jorge, you was going to ask a question or something?
Yeah, I think what Kyle is asking, why doesn't CLT look to build within?
This one?
I think they run that. The problem is that the valuation that they get on players isn't there more often than not, right? Like, I think when it comes to like trying to sign like American-born players, right, that are in MLS, there's like, you know how you kind of have that English tax where, you know, English players, you typically spend more on them, right, when they're sometimes not even worth that price. It's a similar situation that's happening here now. And I kind of understand that where, you know, like you're not going to overpay. You're not going to pay a DP salary to a TAM American player, right? But they're being sold, hey, they're American. They understand the league, yada, yada, right? So I think it comes down more to that.
Yeah,
But
you know what?
having said that, I would also say I would have paid whatever it took to get Mihailovic to Charlotte.
You know what, though? That goes full circle, right? Maybe the reason why Verona is not keeping Swiderski is because maybe they're on the verge of breaking some financial fair play rules.
I have no idea, bro. All I know is
Assumption
that
FC.
even when they signed Verona, somebody made a really good comment about like Verona not being the most trusted club when it comes to paying. You know, I saw that somewhere.
Than the Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Are we in card trouble? Do we have a lot? I think I saw a stat somewhere floating around that we have more cards than any other team in the league.
I don't know, but I think Westwood did pretty good and got 1 rescinded or something, right? So now he can have 2 instead of 1 before he gets up.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he can be his more vocal captain self.
Yeah. Look at this. This comes from a City fan.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. Yeah, when you have 115 charges, you're allowed to say that.
He has 115 excuses, man. Yes. The Italian version of Blackburn, yes. So, yeah, we're all coming at you, Crowns. It's funny that Man U got you and essentially won just as many trophies as City did. Anyways, Jake, anything else?
Hey, this is something I got. You know, I've always got something else. I just want to, I might want to get too religious on you, but I want to pray to the good Lord above for not having any washed out thunderstorms for our run in May. And man, a lot of the games, I mean, literally it was like 10 miles away. No kidding, because the first year that was crazy.
Yes,
Last year we got lucky, but this run in May, and especially the last 2 games, it was close. It was real close. So thank you, Lord, for not raining upon us and the stadium and lighting, because man, that just can be a real pain in the ass. So I just
honestly, JT, that is an excellent point, my friend. Having to be their game, obviously it sucks for the fans too, right? But for us as well, we're like, you know, like, okay, we got to stay extra time at the stadium. X, Y, and Z is happening. You know, weather was, thank you, Lord, for during that game time, let them play. Let it not be raining on our photographers.
Last season get rained out.
I know. And I just mean this run in May was like game, and I'm telling you. So yeah. Glory.
Poseidon has blessed our journey. Thank you.
That's it. So yeah, if you're new to the show or whatever, hit that sub button for us. If you're an OG or been around for a while, hit that like button. Tell all your friends about us and all that kind of stuff too. Yeah, and we did have a couple of games where they were calling for it. So So, anyways, we're not going to get into talk about the 600 because I'm not a NASCAR guy, anyways. And
yeah, hey, Brent Bronico was out there. You saw pictures of him?
Nice.
Number 3.
We got to get some NASCAR. I'm going to help do that. If anyone from the club is watching right now, I am going to help get NASCAR mingled up with, not all the time, as much as we can, with CLTFC, because I think it's both a great experience and both unique, and fans are unique. So we're going to get it together here in Charlotte.
That's all we need. Anyways, Jorge, man, where can people find you?
They can find on all our socials at topbin90.com. You know, we just did a really, really good interview with Ashley Westwood. If you haven't watched that,
really good interview. I will give you
plug. Go watch that. Honestly, like, Westwood is a true gem that we have in Charlotte.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so, and then we'll be at TSP next week. So we'll kind of give you content from there. I'm really hype about that. I'm trying to work out some things with a couple of people that'll be there for some cool content. And, you know, we're always on the grow. You know, we've put out over 300 articles already since the inception of our website. So, you know, we try to give you guys the best coverage we can from a Charlotte FC perspective. You know, and so thank you guys for following us and giving us the love that you typically do. So we really appreciate that.
Yes, definitely, man. A great interview. So yeah, if you haven't seen him, I highly recommend going and checking them out. Even the Dino one was good too, and I like the where they have to rate the players up to 10, and who was it? Dino, I think one of them got nothing but fucking goalkeepers, and so
yeah, that was Westwood. His first comment was like, "I don't like goalkeepers," and then it was a whole bunch of goalkeepers.
Yeah, at least 5 of them for sure. So yeah, that's funny. And JT, man, tell everybody where they can find us if they don't already know.
At CLTFC Fan TV, for the fans, by the fans, damn it.
Peace, y'all, man. See you, y'all in Atlanta. Bye.